Okay.
Hi and welcome to Green Loo. This little video is to introduce to you the new tiny pot that we have, which is this system here. It is a self-contained batch composting system. So there's two expressions in there. One of it is self-contained, which means that this system goes straight on the floor. There's no underfloor space necessary, and the composting container is inside the system. So it's ideal for tiny homes, for an occasional toilet, for in the shed somewhere, what have you. Batch composting means that you have two or more containers which are exchanged when one is full, then set aside to compost. The empty one goes inside. The great thing about batch composting is that because of the system, you can purchase extra container and therefore you can increase the capacity of the system. At the moment, this is a one to two person system with two containers. You purchase an extra container, you double the capacity, it becomes a two to three person system, another container, 3 to 4 person system. So let's have a look at the system itself. It's quite small and neat, so it fits into small spaces. Quite elegant. It's got a very good quality toilet seat here, which is a slow close, and you have the composting container inside. The composting container looks like this, and you will see that the container has these drainage holes. Now with composting, there's a couple of important things. One is the moisture balance, which means that if there's too much moisture in the compost, it drains out through those drainage holes into a collection pan and out through the back into a Sika trench or dispersal trench. And the other thing that's important is a carbon-nitrogen balance, which means that after each solid deposit, not your liquids, just after each solid deposit, you put some carbon-rich covering material on, like this. Okay. So let's just have a look at the system inside, and I'll show how you exchange containers when one is full. So assuming this container is fairly full now, I would put a generous amount of covering material over the top so you don't have any offensive views as you exchange containers. You take the top off, comes off quite easily, and set it aside. As you can see, it's got these two little hooks which hold the lid on quite securely. So here's the lid. It's got a breather hole here which is mesh insect proof, so that even when it's set aside it can get air to the compost. So you put this on, make sure that your little hooks on either side are out, and with these loops, put those on, you have your handle. Now the other ingenious thing that we have with this system is we have a drip tray. So with other systems, as you carry the container through the house, which is basically what you have to do, you will get drips on the floor usually. With ours here, you just take the bin out, put it onto the drip tray. Again, you have a couple of loops. So there you go on there now, and you can carry this out without anything dripping here. You put the new container in. Oh, before we do that, let's have a quick look at the drainage pan. So in here, the holes of the container are within that collection pan. The pan is angled backwards, so the liquids then drain out the back through the excess liquid drain and into your Sika trench. So we'll put this container in, and the handle goes against the front there, so it's nicely out of the way. And then what we do is we have a jute liner. So that's biodegradable, compostable of course. You put this over the drainage holes so they don't clog up when the waste goes in, and then you prime it with 2.5 to 5 centimeters of this covering material to have a good base to start your composting with. And then you put your lid back on. It slots in quite nicely. You've just exchanged the container and you put your full spare container under a tree somewhere to compost. Ideally 3 months or longer, so if you're filling these containers up faster than you expect, just purchase another container or two. And speaking of containers, the Tiny Pot is our smallest self-contained batch composting system that we have in our range. It has a 44-litre container capacity, which actually in its class is quite large. The nearest competitor's system that's similar in what it does has a 33-litre capacity container. So we're talking about a third more capacity per bucket, which is quite considerable, you know, when you're talking about something that has a limited space due to its construction. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it means that you understand the system a bit better. There's more information on our website, of course, and if you have any questions, drop us a line via email or pick up the phone. We're always happy to have a chat and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.